welcome back to another Team Takeover interview. My name is Ross, aka Takeover Sports, and today I am joined by the defensive back coach at Virginia Union University, Coach Nico Rogers. Coach Rogers, how you doing, man?
How you doing? Can't complain. Thank you for having me.
I'm good, man. I appreciate you taking some time out because season's coming up soon, spring training's coming up, signing day's already passed, so
Yeah,
I know it's all full gear ahead, getting everybody ready to go for the season.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing I do want to ask you before we kind of dig into your background is what kind of got you into coaching after you finished college?
Uh, Actually, I probably started coaching while I was in college.
Mm,
My all my years of eligibility up, and of course, I still love football. Want to be around the game. And,
hmm.
my head coach at the time, Coach Reggie Barlow, who's actually the DC Defenders for the UFL, and
Oh,
my
wow.
defensive coordinator, Dewan Sanders. They both welcomed me. Coach Sanders took me under his wing and just taught me what he knew. But before that, I mean, it goes back to high school. Guys, everybody want to play the league and everything else. Yes, the opportunity came. I'm not gonna, close that door, say no to it. But
Hmm.
as ironic as that question, I actually found a coaching book, coaching philosophy on defense. I bought that book when I was in 10th grade,
Oh,
and
wow.
I always knew I enjoyed coaching. Wanted to coach, I should say. It's the thought process of coaching. It's a chess game between the defense and the offense coordinators and
Right.
special teams and stuff like that. So the thinking process is what I love, and just actually like diving into the quote unquote X's and O's and
Hmm.
everything. So that's when I really knew I wanted to get into coaching.
Hmm. Okay. I was going to say, because I did a little bit of digging in your background just to see how long you've been coaching. It's been going on for a long time
Well,
since.
so I started 17.
Hmm.
Yeah, I started at 17. Took like 2 years off.
Hmm.
My wife's pregnancy, and then just moving and stuff like that. So I took 2 years off, and then got back into it. So total of probably about 5 years, 6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to say, because I know in 2017, right here, 2017, 2018, you were at Lincoln. And then the 2017, 2018 season, I'm sorry, you were at Virginia State University and
Right.
then won the CIAA championship.
Correct.
If anybody doesn't know, could you kind of explain what the CIAA is?
So CIAA, HBCU conference, Christian Intercollegiate Athletic Association, uh,
Hmm.
CIAA. And
Okay.
you can find it on the eastern seaboard of the U.S., obviously, and whatnot. So we got teams in Maryland, Virginia, of course, North Carolina, and West Virginia now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, then after that, 2018, you went to Lincoln University. You coached there as a linebacker coach.
Yep.
After that, 2019, 2020, you moved on to, what is this, Christopher Newport University?
Yep. Christopher Newport down in Newport News,
Mhm.
Virginia.
Okay. And then 2021, you joined as a defensive coordinator, recruiting coordinator, which is kind of half of what you do now that you have been promoted where you are at Virginia Union to the recruiting coordinator and in the DB room. How does
Correct.
it feel to kind of be able to say that you have your own room again? And how does it feel to kind of be back into the recruiting cycle?
I mean, I always, I wouldn't necessarily say my own room. Yes, we
Hmm.
have Coach Jones who works with me, works with us, and at Union he coached the corners. So I
Okay.
never, I never, and I don't take things as, oh, this is my room type of
Right.
situation. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we all need each other as coaches, and I mean,
Hmm.
I need Coach Jones, Coach Jones need me. We need each other. So yeah, on paper it may look say DB coach, but in all actuality, I mean, I'm just a coach, and we trying to win games and get our guys better. I mean, I really don't worry about if it's my room or whose name on the room type situation.
Right.
That's not something I'm worried about, or put a lot of energy in because my job is to make sure that we get our guys better within the DB room.
Hmm.
So that's my main focus.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? My bad then. I was gonna say, yeah, no, it's all
Nah,
my
you
fault.
good. Nah, you good. You fine. I'm just articulating that
Hmm.
the mindset of my mindset and how I go about the DB room because it's not an I thing, it's a we thing, and that's something
Okay.
also our staff is do a good job at just making it a we thing. Because at the end of the day, if you say I, attitude reflect leadership, right?
Right.
So I, what do you think the players are going to do? But it's never I.
Right.
It's we, and that's
Yeah.
something that Dr. Parker, our head coach, he emphasized. I mean, we're one unit.
Hmm.
Offense, defense, special teams, we're all one. So it don't matter um, about some of the other things on the outside noise and how I look because we know how I look inside.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? That's a smooth transition into the team and kind of what happened last year. You guys had a really good year last year. You guys went 10-1. Unfortunately, lost in the playoffs, but I feel like with such a young team, because you only have what, two seniors in the DB room?
I only
Is it two
had
seniors?
only one grad. We had one.
Mm.
Everybody in the back.
Oh wow, so it's a very young group. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a very young group. What are some things that you can kind of take from last year and kind of implement into this season, or see any growth from any of the players that you work with?
Well, one of the things we wanted to emphasize last spring was, turnovers, create more turnovers, get the ball to our offense, allow them to do what they do best. Uh,
Hmm.
that's something that we did. We corrected, and we at the end of the season, I mean, regular season, we tied. I want to say with Harden at the end of the regular season, tied first in most interceptions within D2 at with 18. So that goal was accomplished. So definitely proud that our young men, our student athletes, were able to, conquer that goal that we have set.
Right.
But just going into, this spring, just doing some self scouting. Just want to
Hmm.
continue sharpening, the small things. I'm huge on technique. I'm huge on technique. Because I mean, if you lack some type of athletic ability, your technique will help take you home. And I'm a firm believer in that. And now imagine if you got a guy who has all the athletic ability in the world and he has that technique. Now you playing with something.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was gonna say that's an NFL talent.
so now we just want to get back to basics. Now the season over, sharpen some things that we may have seen on film that we want to take care of, and just move from there. Just continue to get better day in day out. Hit the field, classroom, get on the board, help the guys understand what they're actually looking at and watching when they watch film. I mean, football IQ is huge for me as well. I mean, you got to understand where your help is. You got to understand just the scheme and why we're actually calling that play and just breaking it down all the way down to like the beginning, elementary, make it very simple for our guys. And
Hmm.
so get better every day.
Okay. I was gonna say that kind of took one of the points I had kind of off the board with the 18 interceptions because I was gonna bring that up. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did. That way it kind of saved a little bit of time. But yeah, I was going to say 18 interceptions last year. What's that goal for the defensive unit this year in the DB room? Is it to create more turnovers or
I mean, you
just,
always want to create more turnovers no matter what.
yeah.
So I mean, our DB room within our defense, I mean, we hold ourselves to high standards to the point where it's not, some programs or goals maybe want to hold a offense to 150 passing yards or less, or 175 or less. Ours was 100 or less, and we did that
Oh,
a couple.
wow.
We done that more than two games this season under 100 yards passing. But I'll probably say like I said, we aim high, so we want to up that number. We want to go for 20. Want to go for 20. I mean, we got a stingy defense. We got some guys at that D line. We got some guys at linebacker. And honestly, I mean, yeah, our DBs made plays on the ball, created turnovers, but also, I mean, the D line, the linebackers, they did a great job too. You know,
Hmm.
causing the QB to force him to throw the ball in the coverage, causing tips by our D line, and guys just being relentless. So yes, it shows interceptions, but that goes to the whole defense because the backing couldn't do it without that box.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was going to say, I know that D line play is very important when it comes to passing in the quarterback, making them kind of move that clock a little bit faster so
Yep,
that, he does throw it into coverage and things like that.
for sure, for sure. I mean, we got a great D line coach, Coach Solomon Brown, our defense coordinator, Coach Edward.
Hmm.
I mean, he was just named AFCA National Assistant Coach of the Year. So we got,
Congratulations.
yeah. I mean, that's good stuff for Coach, man. I'm definitely happy for
Hmm.
him. But I mean, we got guys on all levels, and then when you got coaches who plays to your players' best abilities, and guys who's have open door policy. Um, our athletes, our student athletes, they are welcome to come in at all times, and they do. I mean, so big shout out to our staff just overall, and also Coach Ryan Goo. He also coached D line, and I also talked about Coach Evan Jones as well.
Yeah, I was going to say it's whole group effort. So shout out to you guys for really going at it both in classroom as well as on the field and kind of being there to support the students throughout the whole college experience.
Yep.
You know, well, I guess the last question for the team that I really want to ask is kind of going into next season. What's that goal looking like? Not just for the defense, but for the entire team. Is it to win the national title, or just to keep improving and keep hustling the way that you guys are now?
I mean, you always want to go all the way. That's if you're not
Hmm.
you don't have that goal, then there's something wrong, in my opinion. Like you can't
Yeah,
be satisfied just winning the conference. Can't be satisfied just winning 10 games or 9 games and so on and whatnot. So I mean, our goal is to really go all the way. To really go all the way. I'm sorry, my little man who came in
oh
right
no,
here.
you're good, man. You're good. No, you're
But,
fine. Trust me.
but yes, I mean we have our eyes on the prize. That's our goal. Of course,
Hmm.
you know what I mean. You if you get to the national championship, more than likely you won your conference.
Yeah,
So that's that I can honestly say that's our goal. Like every other team in D2, they want to go to the championship. They want to go to the national championship, and we're no different. I mean,
absolutely.
we're hungry. We got the guys, we got the staff, and we just planning to put it all together in the spring and carry that on to fall camp and then the season.
Okay. Well, look, knocking on wood that you guys do make it all the way. I'm rooting for you. You
For sure.
know, absolutely. I do want to shift gears a little bit to recruiting because not only are you the on paper DB coach, but you're also the recruiting coordinator. So I kind of do want to talk about the class that you guys did bring in,
Mm-hmm.
kind of specifically for the DBs. So I know you have 5 new guys coming in, 3 from high school, 2 from transferring. What are
Yep.
you kind of thinking that the transfers are going to do, just so to say? Do you want them more to compete? I know they're going to try to compete for a starting job, but, you know, what do you kind of think is going to happen with them?
Well, everybody has to compete no matter what. Whether you high
Mhm.
school transfer, if you on this team, you're gonna compete, and that's on all levels, on both sides of the ball. As far as what we plan for those guys that's coming in, I mean, to be honest with you, we're gonna give them an opportunity to show like everybody else, and you just gotta make the best of your reps. Don't count your reps, make your reps count.
Mm, okay, I like that. I do like that. I was, yeah, that's actually really good. Okay, and then for the high school kids, I was going to say, is it just like red shirt, or are they competing to start as well?
Everybody's coming to compete. At the end of
Okay,
the day, that's what it
yeah.
boils down to. You gotta compete. You gotta have that dog in you. You got to.
Hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, we're a physical team, so you
Right.
got some type of physicality to play on this defense. You gotta have some type of smarts. I mean, we like smart guys. I mean, all of our guys are smart. But that's on the team now, and guys that's coming in. And those are just some attributes that we look for. So I mean, it's going to be a exciting spring. Watching guys put in work. It's going to be exciting fall camp. Watching those high school guys come in and try and earn some stripes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking forward to the spring now. It's gonna be a long. It's been a long winter without football, so it's gonna be really fun when the spring hits. I can
Right.
kind of watch these spring practices and things like that when they're broadcasted and things
Yes,
of
sir.
nature. Well, a couple more questions for you. Do you have any advice for kids that are kind of looking for a spot to play, any opportunity like that? What would you kind of tell them? Be it send out your film more, things of that nature.
I would probably say don't shy away from the smaller camps at some of these schools. I think some high school athletes they get caught up in, oh, I want to go to this camp because it's at this Power Five school and stuff like that. Nothing against it. I mean, I know a lot of coaches at Power Five love them to death and they can coach. Uh,
Hmm.
but at the same time, you also got to put into consideration you going to a camp with I don't know, I just throw out a number 700, 500 kids. Let's say 500.
Hmm.
What's going to make you stand out? I'm not saying shy away from the competition, but I'm also saying, yeah, still go to those big camps, but don't shy away from the smaller camps because
Right.
you can play football the same way. You throw the ball, you catch the ball the same way at a Power Five as you do a, a D2 school. You
Hmm.
got you you got to learn how to get off blocks at a Power Five, just like a D2. So that's probably one of my biggest things is just don't shy away from some of the smaller schools because you'll be surprised. Some of the smaller schools pack a punch now. I mean, we seen on TV some D2s play against D1s and come out victorious. Some
Yeah.
FCS against Power Fives come out victorious. And like I said, nothing against Power Five schools at all. Just don't limit yourself. I guess is
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say. Don't limit yourself and close doors on some opportunities because you got to remember those small accounts. Now you got coaches have an opportunity to actually evaluate, like truly evaluate you and see what you bring to the table and whatever testing they're doing, whatever drills they may be doing. Make sure you're coachable. Just be a sponge. Like ask questions, and try and figure out what can I do to retain this information that this coach is telling me at this camp, and then put it on film. Put on film when you Friday Night Lights, when you going on those lights, you playing your high school games. Put on the film. I mean, the eye in the sky never lie. That
Hmm.
at the top, they're gonna see the good and the bad, no matter what. Um, so I definitely and just have a high motor. High motor, man. I always look for guys who has high motors, who runs to the ball. If they the boundary safety and the plays on the other side of the field, are you running to the ball? Are you trying to get to the ball? I want to see that
Right.
effort. Because you never know. You may catch the ball and then there's a fumble and the ball just rolling on the field. You may be that guy that had the opportunity to get around the ball, jump on it, pick it up, scoop and score. Uh,
Hmm.
those are probably some of the things I'll say, and just continue to send film to coaches. It probably will get frustrating at times because you, as a high school kid, you want to play ball, you want to do this, and you send your tape out, your film out, your Twitter link, your huddle, and stuff like that. All these coaches, shoot, you probably send out 45 messages,
Yeah.
and you may just get one reply, but that one reply
Yeah.
is all you need.
There you
So
go.
don't give up. Don't never like they say. Don't never give up. Just continue to be hungry. Be hungry. I always tell my daughter the worst thing somebody could tell you is no. Continue to try, ask questions. The worst thing they can say is no. If they say no, then I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate you just taking the time to reach back out to me, and just continue to try and find your way. So that probably be my best advice.
Okay. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Last question before I let you go because I know it's 7 o'clock. Kind of, for anybody that's trying to be a coach, with your long list of experience, what are some things that you would kind of give them for advice as well? I don't want to just talk about the player's perspective, but also the coach perspective.
I'll probably say just be willing to get your hands dirty. Like what I mean by that is my first year at Virginia State, I was more so a student assistant. Like I said, Coach
Mm,
Waldo, Coach Sanders took me under the wing that year. Even though I was coaching, I was still a student. So
mm,
I did basically what a volunteer coach would probably do. Even though, yeah, I was still on scholarship, but at the same time, I did setting up the field by myself. I washed clothes. I oversaw the equipment manager, so I made sure the clothes, the jerseys, everything was washed and clean. Heck, I remember, and I never forget. We playing in Winston Salem at home, and it started storming, raining, crazy rain, crazy rain, and lights went out during the game. We had to wait for power to come back on, finish the game, and it's pouring down. And after the game, everybody go to the locker room, disperse, do their thing. I got to clean up the field. I got to pick up the pylons and the yard markers in lightning, in the rain. Not necessarily lightning at that time, it had stopped, but it was pouring down. And
wow.
you can't be, you can't have too much pride to do some of the things that quote unquote get your hands dirty. Um, you got to be willing to put in the work. There's a saying that our head coach, Coach Parker, says if you part time, you gotta work full time. If you full time, you gotta work overtime. And
Mm,
I firmly believe that because you gotta put in the work. You can't just expect you as a coach to get better by just clocking in when you there for 4 hours. Say I'm a part time coach. All right.
mm,
You can't expect to get better. You gotta do stuff on your off day from your regular job if you have an off day. You gotta find ways to understand what's going on within the office as well. Um, so I definitely say be open to doing some of those lower um, hierarchy type things and stuff like that. So and it's also humbling. I mean, it was very humbling for me to do that, and I appreciate that I went through that because it helped
yeah.
me be who I am today, not just as a coach, but as an individual, as a man, a father, and just putting in that grind. And shoot, your head coach, hey, I need you to run and go do this. Your DC, I need you to run and do this. I got you, coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's not a thing of just being an errand boy or anything. No, it's you understanding that you fit in right here for now,
Mm,
and you continue putting that work. Those coaches are going to take notice of you, of everything you do. Rather, are you hanging up the jerseys before someone's even asking you to? Are you doing the small things, taking initiative, do things, and just being a step ahead, being on time? And when I be on time, I mean be early. And that's something I tell the DBs. Early is on time. On time is late. And if you late, you might be forgotten. So make sure you early so you can be on time. And that's something as a young coach, you have to clock in early, you clock in late. You gotta put that,
mm,
and that's mandatory. And it's find ways to make yourself valuable, right? So
right.
understand the whole technical side of things as far as like the huddle, DV Sport if they use that, and some whatever platform they use for their film.
Right.
How to do Visio, understand how to make plays on Visio and on huddle.
Mm,
Understand how to do it on PowerPoint. I mean, you gotta find ways to make yourself um, marketable as well. Like all these things are okay. What else can he do? Okay, he wants come here and coach the DBs. What else can he do? right?
Right.
And it's and at a lower level, like say D2, some position coaches got to do other things as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? You may have a DB coach who's also in charge of academics. You may have a linebacker coach who's in charge of all the walk-ons, all the tryout things. Where so in the bigger schools, they got departments who do all that, right?
Exactly.
We got to find ways to sharpen your skills in other areas as well, and not just the X and O's. And okay, Johnny, you got to take this 45-degree drop, and now I mean you have to
Yeah.
find ways to expand your value to make it so valuable. And so that's probably the best thing. That's probably something that one of the coaches told me a long time ago. Like you got to make yourself valuable. If we let him go, will we be missing this aspect of our program?
Right.
And that's what I took. I mean, I made sure I understood how well, I love recruiting anyway, but I made sure I understood how recruiting goes. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started dabbing into Photoshop and getting certifications in that. So now I can be running recruiting, but instead of having a media department, I can do the media stuff
Right.
type situation. Or like I have a background in strength conditioning. Those 2 years I took off of coaching, I was assistant manager at One Life Fitness in Newport.
Mm-hmm.
So I oversaw a gym. And so now I have a background in my degree is in health physical education. So I already have a passion for that type
Right.
stuff anyway. But now I'm certified in personal training. Say I didn't want to be a DB coach, I can go be a strength conditioning coach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so just make yourself valuable. Creating different ways that you can be needed and wanted is probably one of the things I say.
Okay. Cool. I was gonna say you dropped a lot on a lot of people right there. I really do appreciate that dropping right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I appreciate you taking some time out to really sit down and talk to me, man. That was really good.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for just want to sit down with me as well. So I
Oh
thank you.
man, of course, of course, of course. I appreciate you. You know, seeing the message and being like, yeah, let's do it. Let me just make sure I got clearance. So I do appreciate you, man. And thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great one, man.
I'll take it easy.